afternoon and welcome to our Business Owner Spotlight series. It's our opportunity to talk to business owners across the country, the very best in business owners across the country, I might add, find out a little bit about themselves and a little bit about their businesses. So today I am delighted to welcome Aine Mulvey I'm going to let Aine introduce herself and where she's from, because she's got many hats on at the moment. So Aine, you're very welcome.
Thanks, Des. Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm currently working for Lacey's, which is a plumbing and heating company. I design tiles and bathrooms. But in the next few weeks, I'm taking the big step of moving out on my own with my own company, which is called MeritX. So the full company is MeritX Retail Solutions. And a few years ago, I formed that company after many years in retail. And I wanted to make a change, small change for small businesses. And, you know, maybe a bit of training, a bit of mystery shopping and transport, all these issues. And I created the company. But the first person who I spoke to when I had started that company was Keith Lacey. And we had a good relationship. We developed a good relationship, and I was here, and here we are 3 years later. And I just think now is the right move, the right time, to move on and move forward. So I have signed a lease on a new premises, and we start work on that today, actually. So yeah, it's great. So hopefully in a few weeks now, we'll have a bit of movement of that. And the other part of my business then is Just Us Network. And that during COVID has been gaining a bit of pace. So while it does look that I do wear many hats, but actually when you think about it, the Women's Network had generated from a hobby, but it was connected with women in business, women also who aren't in business, but who want to make friends through social activities. But I was always doing it anyway, because I was networking through business for a long number of years, and it just made sense to me to develop it further. So that's the two, to me, tie in, because in business I mainly deal with a lot of women who are decision makers when they're buying their bathrooms. So for me, they tie in well together. But I suppose looking from the outside, it looks like it's two completely different things. But it's not, you know.
It's not. They're very intertwined there, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, they are intertwined.
So good. Tell me, Aine, what was the biggest impact COVID had on the business?
Well, the biggest impact was learning a new way to speak to your customers, because when you work in a showroom, you have to have your customers here with you. And I suppose COVID taught me anyway that we no longer have to rely on that. You know, there is other ways. Technology is fantastic, like we said, when it works, but it is fantastic. And that was a new way that we had to learn to speak to our customers, like via Zoom, you know, and a lot of to-ing and fro-ing with spec sheets, you know, that was another thing. And I suppose during the COVID then, it just got my mind thinking of how can we adapt this now into the new normal, because it was such a great way, because it didn't slow down business at all. And actually, in fact, during COVID, business boomed, because people were sitting at home looking at their houses. And then they had a few pounds there because people were saving for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, first time in a while.
So definitely you had to react to that. And
you were doing virtual kind of intros with clients, and you were showing them around the showroom virtually at the time, were you?
That's basically it. And it was literally with the phone. It was holding the phone up and going around and having to. And then after that initial, it was a lot harder. Don't get me wrong, it was harder, but it was still manageable. We still managed to do it. And so it was emailing back and forth with spec sheets and, you know, still choosing the right product for them. But I found anyway that we could still do the job. We just couldn't do it face to face.
But it's interesting, before COVID, had someone said that you would be meeting someone virtually on your phone and showing them around the showroom, you'd have said you're mad. It would never happen.
Absolutely. But there's a lot of things, Des, in when you're doing bathrooms and when you're designing that people will say to you anyway, yeah, you're mad, that won't work, you know. But it's a constant battle of, yes, it will work, and yes, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you had no choice at the time, so that's what we had. We were the same. We had to adapt as well to greeting and meeting people online. So
yeah, it's great learning.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's a great learning experience. It really was when you think about it, and when you look back. It was great.
Yeah. So tell me, what's the biggest challenge facing the industry right now?
Well, obviously a shortage of tradesmen. You know, well, the bathroom part of, a shortage of tradesmen and the materials, the supply chain. They're probably the biggest challenge that we have. There's not enough tradesmen out to do the work that's coming in. And then the supply chain probably getting interrupted. But again, there's ways and means around that. I think if you know retail well and you know the products well, it's easier for you to adapt people's orders or what they want or their expectations. So I think that's a bit of a problem where I suppose if somebody gives you a list of products and then you're kind of putting them into an order and there's no options given, you'll find that problem. But if you are a natural problem solver and give options, you can work your way around that.
But they're really creative.
Yeah, you know, exactly. It's everything. It's trying to be a bit more creative. But I just think they're the two biggest, inflation and rising costs. And, you know, obviously.
Yeah, I was going to ask that, how costs obviously are rising significantly.
Yeah, they are. Like, you know, they've gone up a fair whack now in the last 6 months alone. So, but what can you do? Shipping is, you know, the costs have increased for suppliers as well, and be passed on to the products, and then in turn the tradesman is hard to get, which rises the price. So
often we focus on the challenges, and it's easy for us to talk about challenges in the business. So I'm going to ask you, what's been your biggest success so far this year?
Like we were talking about, although as bad as COVID was, for the whole time for everybody, there new ways of doing business came to light because we depended on it, we needed it. So for me, that whole learning curve during COVID and how to adapt and change, I think really accelerated me further, and it made me realize that there is ways that I can run a business myself and operate myself without the big overheads of lots of staff and, you know, goods in, goods out. And that's what I'm planning to do in the next few weeks. Yeah, so it was great learning opportunity for me.
So tell me, what advice would you give to the 18-year-old version of yourself right now?
Oh, I just think 18-year-olds, like I'd say, live your life, travel, have a bit of fun, because when you get a bit older, like, it's, you know, life is, the working life is tough. Life is tough enough in general, but, you know, I would have traveled more, had a lot more fun. I was bad enough when I was 18 probably, but yeah, definitely. My eldest daughter is 21, and I'm always saying to her, you know, travel, go and see everywhere, you know. She's finished college now this year, and I think next year she's planned on doing a few trips, and I love that. That's brilliant. That's what you want.
Super, good stuff. So I know you're changing. So obviously the business is going to, your role and your day-to-day is going to change significantly in the next couple of weeks. So where do you see growth for your business in the next 6 months?
Well, I'll continue doing what I'm doing. I just probably will do it in a different way. That's getting done. I'm going to, I will have a virtual reality option there with the VR headset. That's going to be the main thing that, you know, for people, I think, who are designing their bathrooms or any renovations in their home, the hardest thing for them to do is visualize. So this new system will allow people to create the bathroom that they think they want, and then when they come and visit me, they'll be able to put the VR headset on and see the bathroom, their own bathroom, measurements, everything to spec.
Wow.
And then we'll offer, you know, the design that they think they want, and then make a few changes. And And then the end result, it'll be as clear as crystal, like what it is that you're actually getting, what it will look like. And then make the decisions on that. And I think the layout will be easier for me because, like I said, when you're on your own and you're starting up and you need to be there full time, every minute of every day yourself. I wouldn't really, I don't think updating showroom bays and kind of tiles and the sanitary ware is an option for me. It would just, I wouldn't be able to do it. So I think, that's where I see myself in 6 months. I just think that to get up and get running and to build that base up myself, hopefully in 6 months' time, when we're coming up to the first Christmas, I'll be able to take a nice break and say, yeah, I did a good job. I've achieved what I wanted, and then I can build on it,
Good, great stuff. So I'm just admiring the backdrop. Actually, it's a great collage of tiles, and it's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah.
Did you design that yourself? Did you?
No, they're a range of tiles that have been up in Lacey's for a long time. People comment on them like they were purposely put there. I think at the because a lot of people would they're a real combination.
Yeah. Good stuff. Well, look, Aine, it's been great talking to you this morning. I want to wish you the very, very best of luck with MeritX in the coming weeks. I think your drive and your passion for retail and all things MeritX is going to be absolutely phenomenal in the next couple of months. So best of luck, and thanks again for coming on the series.
Thanks so much, Des. Lovely talking to you.
Great stuff. Thanks, Aine.
Thank you.